Welcome back to the King's Corner, the place for all things Bethesda. I am the KingFanMan. In the last 2 days, we've had a lot of information drop about Fallout 76. Yesterday, the Game Informer article came out, and today, Bethesda released a We Will Emerge video all about the nuclear bombs. Now, I don't find it a coincidence that yesterday we learned that the nuclear bombs will be a part of the main quest line, and today the video was all about the nukes. In the interview from Game Informer, Todd Howard says when you emerge from the vault, you will receive a transmission from the Overseer that she left before everybody. She left secret instructions for you, and that's kind of the jumping on point for what we call the main quest. At the end of it, you launch the nukes. Now, the nukes are a game system, but they are also part of the main story. The Overseer's quest is not something you can blaze through. It is lengthy. It is a multi-part story that takes players across all of West Virginia. The quest requires the player to be a high level at its conclusion. Even if the player sticks to the quest, they will still receive optional tasks along the way and will end up having a menu filled with missions that can be selected at any time. Now, with all of this said, knowing that the nukes are the main quest line, then obviously finding the nuclear codes is going to be part of that quest line, and I can assume then that actually shooting the nukes are going to be part of the quest as well. And I believe, and this is just my opinion here, that there's going to be a reason for shooting the nukes as well. Now, we can talk about that if you want to. What would the reason be? We can speculate all day and all night. Some have suggested that it's going to be an outbreak of scorched beasts, and that could be the case. But there's also another possibility. I believe that part of the main quest is going to be getting whatever is produced after the nuclear bomb drops, which will be part of finishing the quest line. So in other words, the quest line will not finish when the nuclear bomb goes off. You will have to go and pick up those valuable resources that the video talks about. Because after the nuclear bombs go off, we've heard it several times, the land is then transformed. You have higher level enemies that will spawn, but there are also now higher level resources that come out. And I believe those resources will be part of the main quest there at the end. Now, in this new video, and in the old one, in fact, we are shown 4 nuclear sites. Now, is that all of the nuclear sites? I'm not sure, but it is interesting that we are only shown 4, and they are shown in 4 distinct zones. Now, we'll get back to that in just a moment. We are also shown these launch codes that are found on the locals. The locals are the Scorched, which is where you're going to find the launch codes. But I want to go back to the main quest line. I do not believe that you're going to be able to pick up these launch codes off of the Scorched at any time. In other words, I don't believe you can go pick up these launch codes on the first day that you go play. Again, I believe it's going to have to be part of the main quest line. You're going to have to open that up before you can go find those launch codes on the Scorched or on those locals in that zone. Now, go back and notice those 4 nuclear sites in those zones. They are all on the east side of the map, or for those of you that are slow, that's on the right side. Now, those are obviously going to be the harder levels of the map. We found out that the Cranberry Bog, according to Game Informer, is a very, very hard level. Well, evidently so is the Mire and the Savage Divide. So the eastern side of the map, or the right-hand side of the map, is going to be the higher level zone, and that's where you find the nuclear bombs. Okay, now we get to the part where they have bingo. Now, the only thing I get out of this is there is 5 letters in bingo. Does that mean it is a 5-number code? Do you have to find 5 numbers to complete the code? Possibly. Now the video talks about picking your target, and you do get to pick your target when you are launching the nuclear bombs. But be very careful. We have been told from almost the very beginning, from a long time ago, way back in the interviews at E3, that the nuclear bombs will only work in a designated list of places. Please don't make me go back and find those interviews where they said this. I can if y'all want me to. I'll give you a link if you want that. The nuclear bombs will only work in a designated list of areas. In other words, you cannot target someone's base. You can only hit someone's base if they happen to build right on top of a designated location. Also remember that before the nuclear bombs are launched, there will be a map-wide warning that will go off that will give everybody time to get out of the area. And then we get to see the Mothman. He's my favorite, the Mothman. And we get to see him in a couple of different forms. And that has been teased ever since the making of Fallout 76 documentary, that we are going to get to see him evolve during the game. He's going to kind of stalk us during the game. We're going to see him in different kind of forms. So the first time you see him, he's not going to be flying around. He's going to be creeping through the woods, and eventually he is going to be flying around. So very interesting there to see him in this cartoon form in different forms. Now, it was posed, and I don't know who did it. Forgive me for not giving credit for this, but somebody posed it in a video not long ago that oh, I know who it was. It was Our Funhouse that did it. I will give them credit. Our Funhouse posed the thought that the Mothman might just be someone that is good and someone that actually helps the player in the game instead of being an enemy, which is kind of neat, because the Mothman in real life, some people believe that he wasn't bad. He was one that actually was warning of bad things, that he showed up right before the bridge collapsed, that he was trying to warn the people of the town that the bridge was about to collapse. So Our Funhouse was saying that he might be someone that is trying to warn the player. So a very neat concept, and that would be neat if the Mothman turns out to be good. That's about all this trailer had to offer, but thank you so much for stopping by the King's Corner to get your Bethesda fix. Be sure and check all my links down below, and hey, follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, and please go check out my Patreon page. And if you can, just give $1, a couple of dollars. That's easy. Instead of buying a cup of coffee or a Coke, give it to the KingFanMan. He could sure use your help. We got more stuff coming out. A Scary Place just came out. Go check it out if you will. And hey, if you're not subscribed, that's free. Just click that button. If you don't, one of those scary things that I've been talking about, it'll get you. I am the KingFanMan. I'll see you soon.